Picture this. You're looking at a map drawn in 1513, and it shows the coastline of Antarctica perfectly. The only problem? Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820. And here's the kicker. This map shows Antarctica without ice, revealing mountain ranges that we only confirmed existed in 1958, using modern sonar technology. I'm talking about maps that, frankly, shouldn't exist. Maps that have historians scratching their heads and asking uncomfortable questions about what our ancestors really knew. Today, we're diving into some of the most puzzling cartographic mysteries in history, ancient maps that seem to contain impossible knowledge. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, because what I'm about to show you might just change how you think about the past. Let's start with the map that started it all, the Piri Reis map of 1513. Now, Admiral Piri Reis was an Ottoman navigator, and he created this map using what he claimed were ancient source materials. But when researchers examined it closely in the 1960s, they found something absolutely mind-blowing. And if that sounds like the setup to a mystery novel, good. Because this is one of those stories where the more you look, the stranger it gets. The map doesn't just show South America and Africa with remarkable accuracy for its time. It shows the northern coast of Antarctica, and get this, it shows it ice-free. We're talking about a continent that was supposedly unknown to Europeans for another 300 years, depicted without the ice sheet that's been there for millions of years. But wait, it gets weirder. In 1949, a joint British-Swedish expedition used seismic equipment to map the actual land surface beneath Antarctica's ice. When they compared their findings to the Piri Reis map, the correlation was, well, let's just say it was uncomfortably accurate. Mountain ranges and coastal outlines lining up where you'd least expect them to. How does a 16th century Turkish admiral draw a map showing geographical features that we only confirmed with 20th century technology? Piri Reis himself wrote notes on the map, claiming he used ancient charts as sources. But what ancient charts? From where? From whom? The mystery deepens when you look at the mathematical precision. The map uses a projection technique that accurately represents the curvature of the Earth, something that requires sophisticated understanding of spherical geometry. We're talking about mathematical concepts that weren't supposed to be widely known in 1513. Now you might think, okay, maybe it's just one weird map. Coincidences happen, right? But the more anomalies you stack together, the harder coincidence becomes to believe. It shows Antarctica as a continent roughly the size and shape we know it to be today, with mountain ranges, rivers, and what appear to be coastal details. Here's what's really unsettling. The map shows Antarctica positioned correctly at the South Pole, with accurate relative positioning to South America and Africa. The continent is depicted with internal features, rivers, mountains, coastlines, that suggest whoever drew the original source material had actually explored this land. You can almost picture sailors sketching jagged peaks and river valleys as they charted the coast. But remember, we're talking about 1531. Europeans were still figuring out that the Americas existed. The idea of a southern continent was purely theoretical at this point. Yet here's Finaeus, drawing Antarctica with geographical features that we've only been able to verify in the modern era. And it's not just Antarctica. Both maps show other geographical anomalies that shouldn't have been known at the time. The Piri Reis map shows the Caribbean islands with surprising accuracy and depicts South American river systems that weren't explored by Europeans until much later. So what's going on here? How do we explain maps that seem to contain knowledge from a time when such knowledge shouldn't have existed? Some historians suggest these cartographers had access to ancient source materials, maps created by unknown civilizations that had somehow acquired this geographical knowledge. Piri Reis himself mentions using ancient charts, some supposedly dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. But this raises even more questions. What ancient civilization had the capability to accurately map Antarctica? How did they navigate to these remote locations? What technology did they use to create such precise cartographic representations? The conventional explanation is that these are just remarkable coincidences. that medieval cartographers made educated guesses that happened to be surprisingly accurate. But when you look at the mathematical precision, the geographical accuracy, and the sheer impossibility of some of these details being guessed correctly, well, coincidence starts to feel like a pretty weak explanation. We know that knowledge can be lost. The Library of Alexandria burned. Entire civilizations have disappeared, leaving barely a trace. What if some of our ancestors knew things that we're only rediscovering now? Consider this. The ancient Greeks calculated the circumference of the Earth with remarkable accuracy. The Antikythera mechanism shows they had sophisticated understanding of astronomy and mechanical engineering. Polynesian navigators crossed vast ocean distances using techniques we're still trying to fully understand. Oral traditions, long-distance trade networks, or specialized seafaring schools could all have preserved and transmitted map knowledge that later vanished. Maybe the real question isn't how these impossible maps exist, but what else did our ancestors know that we've forgotten? These maps force us to confront an uncomfortable possibility, that our understanding of history might be incomplete, that there might be gaps in our knowledge, lost civilizations, forgotten technologies, and ancient wisdom that challenges our assumptions about the past. The Piri Reis and Oronteus Finaeus maps aren't just historical curiosities. They're puzzles that don't fit neatly into our understanding of what was possible in the ancient world. Perhaps a young person discovering these mysteries for the first time. Warm, hopeful lighting suggests the joy of discovery and the importance of questioning. So the next time someone tells you that ancient people were primitive, that they couldn't have possessed advanced knowledge, remember these maps. Remember that sometimes the most interesting questions aren't the ones we can answer easily, but the ones that make us question what we think we know. What do you think? Are these maps evidence of lost ancient knowledge, or just remarkable coincidences? And more importantly, what other mysteries from the past might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to notice them? The truth is, we may never know for certain. But isn't it fascinating that these questions exist at all? That there are still mysteries in our world, still puzzles that challenge our understanding of history and human capability. Keep questioning, keep wondering, and keep your mind open to possibilities. Because sometimes the most incredible discoveries come from simply asking, how is this possible?